Robin, how would you like to play Three-Question Thursday?
Absolutely.
Three-Question Thursday where everybody wins. And I don't know what the questions are. Okay. But, as you talked a minute ago, you said something that you don't know why you weigh and measure your breakfast, but not your lunch or dinner. Is that a one plate meal? Is that what you're doing? Lunch
Yeah,
and dinner?
it's not conscious anymore. Before bright line eating, when I was white knuckling it was a salad plate, and half of the plate had to be vegetables, and a fourth of the plate had to be protein, and then I had to have at least a tablespoon of fat. So there was higher fat, but other than that, it was 3 meals. It was just measured in a different way, and it was very similar as far as, I guess, the balance of protein. Probably the only difference was there was lower carbs, but other than that, it was super, super similar.
And so you just got on that same agenda, like every time for those meals. So that is freedom.
It is. Then, again, so it's over 12 years. So I've done cruises. I whitewater rafted the Grand Canyon for 2 weeks. I've done trips where having a scale and weighing your food, especially on the Grand Canyon, that was not going to cut it. So I've had to develop techniques where the one plate rule salad plate has worked really well for me. But yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Okay. When we talked, there was a question that you really love this Cherokee proverb.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so that one's ironic because my maiden name is Wolf, and my dad was an ophthalmologist who would go out into the Indian Eskimo villages to deliver medical care. And my dad had a profound love of the Indian and Eskimo cultures. But there is a Cherokee saying, and I'm probably slaughtering it, but it's apparently a chief to a young person in the tribe. And he's explaining to the young boy that there's 2 wolves that reside in all of us, and they're in an eternal battle with each other. And one of them is greed and lust and anger and hatred. And the other one is love and forgiveness and kindness and compassion. And the little boy asked the chief which one wins, and the chief says whichever one you feed. And I love that. And to me, that is a way. A way is teaching how to find compassion and love and forgiveness where once there was hate and resentment and fear.
So amazing. And the last thing, a question, when we talked, and I think you did say it tonight too, this sentence, I am exactly where I'm meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
When you sponsor people, I'm sure that you communicate that in some way. Is it the empathy that you have for them based on your own life experiences that now you can give that hand out? What does that all mean to you? I am exactly where I'm meant to be, and how you can mentor or support others.
That's another OA concept. And the idea is, as addicts, we think that we have a corner on truth. We think the world owes us a certain script. And if people would just show up and participate in the way that we think they should in our head, then we'll be happy, then we'll be free. And that keeps us locked. Instead, I look at my eating disorder as one of the best gifts of my whole life. I never would have become the person I am. I never would have cultivated the friendships I have. I never would have, I grew up with this super entitled childhood. I had money. I had, we had a tennis court. We got to travel everywhere we wanted. I thought I had a corner on truth with how my husband was supposed to show up and how the world was supposed to treat me. And my eating disorder has gotten me down on my knees, and it's forced me to have humility and compassion for other people. So when I have someone that I'm working with, that I'm sponsoring, and they have a relapse and they call me, and typically there's a lot of shame, and they're like, I don't want to tell you this, but I was having a really rough time, and I ate a cake or whatever. And my answer always is, this is not about willpower. This is a disease. And disease feeds on shame and secrecy. And the single biggest gift you gave yourself was picking up the phone and calling. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Don't give your disease that power. You had to have this relapse. I don't know why, but you had to have this relapse to get clarity, to get the tools that you need to keep going. Every relapse I had, my childhood was necessary to be where I am right now. And so when I'm fighting against the world, or I'm pushing and I'm angry, or the food chatter starts to come back, I have to remind myself, I am trying to control my external environment, and I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And if I get out my journal and I look around at the signs around me, I'll figure out why I had to have this relapse, why there had to be this thing that I can't make sense of. And instead of it being confining, it opens things up and it makes the food chatter go away. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Oh, it makes so much sense. It's phenomenal. Right there. That I want to just send out in the world right there. That was amazing. And I'm going to go back and listen to this over and over. Thank you so much, Robin. Truly. Thanks for being on Starting Out Bright. And thank you for playing 3-Question Thursday.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hope to talk soon. Good night, everybody. Stay bright.